Hello there, Andrew Anderson here with 21to21.com Profit Consultants, and today we're going to discuss why Domino's new pizza program and their sales and PR program is going to more than likely fail. And I've got one word with you for that, and that's think Coke. I actually did a longer version of this video, but I went back and looked at it, and it is a bit long, and I want to try and get this one done in 3 minutes. If you remember what happened with the Coke fiasco is they changed their complete formula and the way that Coke tasted, and they lost about 65% of their customer base overnight, virtually overnight, as soon as they introduced it. And there's a scientific reason for this, and they didn't know about it apparently, and neither does Domino's. And today I'm going to explain why their program's not going to work and why you should not follow in their footsteps. I would say they have about a 98 to 99% chance of this not working. And it's going to go back to some work that's been done over the past 30 years in behavior modeling by these people here. They just came out with this book. It's called Personality Language, How to Persuade and Influence Virtually Anyone, Anytime, by Marilyn Woodsmall and Wyatt Woodsmall. And just a brief introduction to this is that they are human behavior modelers. They've been around for about 30 years. They've worked with Olympic athletes, several government agencies within the U.S., several governments outside the U.S., some elite entrepreneurs. And basically what they've come up with is, in their behavior modeling, they've come up with a paradigm that explains the motivations and why most people do things that they do, how they take in information, how they process information, and how they communicate with other people. And because of this, we now know that when Coke changed their formula, they basically alienated 65% of their customer base, because there's in chapter 2, and I do suggest that you get this book, of Personality Language. One of the personality types is sameness and difference. And I'm going to try and get this done in less than a couple minutes here. Basically, sameness people, and I want to explain this real quickly, and you'll understand why Coke failed and why Domino's is probably going to follow suit. Sameness people will focus their attention on things that are similar or the same, on elements that match things which they have previously experienced in one way or another. Sameness people do not tolerate change, desire the status quo, are quite comfortable with things that are different, are uncomfortable with things that are different from their experiences, can remain in a job for 15 years to life without variety, prefer continuity and lifestyle both personally and professionally, and a job require a reputation of task. And there's also a separate subset of that, but difference people basically are, difference people will always focus on what is different in a given situation or notice what is different from what they have previously experienced. Different people constantly make distinctions. They thrive on change. They believe in change for change's sake, prefer jobs with variety and abhor routines and situations. If an employee will stay in a job for 6 months to a year, tend to be creative entrepreneurs of the world and seek what is unique and revolutionary. And there's a subset of those as well. But basically what it comes down to, on the sameness people, there are about 65% of the population. And then the difference people are about 35%, but of those, only 5 to 10% are true difference people. They like everything to be changed. There's a qualified difference people that only like a little bit of things to be changed. Now, what the kicker is here is that when they changed everything, they basically alienated their base, the people that like Domino's Pizza, that's been going with them for 15 or 16 years and don't want anything new. Okay, so it didn't matter how great their pizza crust was, or their new sauce, or how wonderful it tasted. The fact that it was different is going to alienate the vast majority of their customer base. And what's funny about this is that most of the difference people are the people that come up with the new ideas, or the ones that come up with creative new marketing ideas, and they cannot fathom, for the most part, that, or they not even aware that most people are sameness. They don't like change. They don't want new. They don't want a better taste. They don't want better anything. They want the same old thing that they've been getting for year after year. And What's happened is with Domino's, I'd be willing to bet at least $1 on this, is that their new PR people, they're difference people. They make things happen. They're the ones that rise to the top because they're constantly coming up with new things. And yes, sameness people will take in new things, but it's a really, really super slow process. And what Domino's has done, instead of introducing this as something new that they could get also with another type of pizza, they wiped out their base. They've gotten rid of it, which is what Coke did, which is why it's going to end up in a train wreck for them. Now, the thing they have to overcome here, you have to understand this, is since they're going to alienate 65% of their customer base, they have to go out and get enough new people to make up that difference. And it's the hills is like this, and it's going to be a really tough row to hoe. And I doubt if they're going to be successful at it. I wish them all the best, but it's not something that I would ever recommend to any of my clients do. And if they'd had me as a consultant, or even the Woodsmalls as a consultant, it's not something they would have even attempted to do. I'm sure they've gotten the focus groups in there, and they come in with these focus groups, and the problem with that is they said, okay, we're going to have you test some new things, and we want you to tell you which one is better. Well, even sameness people will give you the answer that they want, having never been exposed to it, but because they're expected to come up with something new, or expected to come up with something that they think that the people that are giving the test want. So those things are skewed. But if you go back with the general personality type of sameness and difference, and you know for a fact that 65% of your audience, more than likely, if you have a regular product, don't want change, they don't want new. And if you do make changes, make them in incremental amounts, and or keep your base product and add newer ones to it. So there you have it. That's why Domino's Pizza's new PR program and new pizza is more than likely going to fail. If you want to listen to a longer version of this, I'm going to keep the other video up as well, but I highly recommend go out and buy Personality Language by Marilyn Woodsmall and Wyatt Woodsmall, one of the best books out there. They also have another book called People, Pattern, Power, which is the other website that I suggested you go to find out more detailed information about what happened with Coke. So anyway, this is Andrew Anderson with 21 to 21 Profit Consultant signing off, and hope you have a profitable day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.